Now it's recording.
Hello, time to heal, family and friends. It's your girl Keisha Jones, the mental health advocate and coach, back again with another podcast. And today I have three special guests, my sisters and my cousin. Say hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey.
Hi, friends.
Today we'll be talking a little about being parents and dealing with mental health issues and how we deal with mental health issues. First, we're going to start off with my sister Brittany. We're going to be talking about dealing with mental health issues with a disabled child. Her son has autism and he's what?
5.
5. So, just tell them a little bit, Brittany, how you deal day to day with mental health issues and dealing with a 5-year-old that deals with autism.
Well, myself, I've been dealing with anxiety and depression for years. Maybe like my high school year, maybe like 9th grade. So I was like 15, 16. But I honestly think it was like way before then, because when I was talking to the therapist, she said like this has happened way before then. She just caught it in time, like when I was 15 or 16. And then of course Kingston came along years later, when I turned 30. Kingston is now 5, and trying to deal with myself, my own issues and my own things that I have going on in my personal life, and then dealing with him. I have to put aside myself, my issues that I deal with for him. So it's a lot.
I'm sure.
It's like I have to put, I don't know, I just feel like I have to put, I don't like to say that because it sounds kind of like crazy. I have to put my life on hold for him. My main focus is just like mainly him. I never really focused on myself for like the past 3 years. Because Kingston was diagnosed with autism when he was, I believe, 1.5. Yeah, 1.5 because he's 5. Yeah, he was like 1.5. So around that time, I was already going through postpartum, and then I was already dealing with the depression and anxiety already. So it was a lot. It was just too much to deal with, and I didn't understand at the time. But I knew it was something wrong. Then, like maybe it was like 5 or 6 months. And I knew something was wrong then. I'm like, oh, maybe it's just me because, like, I'm going through a lot and I'm just thinking of all my emotions in my head. Like, it's just me. Like, I'm crazy. I kept saying, like, I'm crazy. Like, and I'm like, no, it's not. Like, I noticed, like, it's just something not right. Yeah, like, you just had that feeling. Like, I'm like, I know all kids are different. Like, my first son, he's 13. I'm like, he was a little different, but I'm like, I know all kids is different, but it's just something that's telling me that something is off. So true enough, I was right. Then from that day on, it was just like, I feel like everything was just kind of going downhill for me because, like I said, I was already going through postpartum. I was already dealing with depression and anxiety. So it was a lot. I feel like it was just too much to deal at once, and I didn't understand. But then I put all that to the side, like, okay, Brittany, enough is enough. It's not about you no more. It's about Kingston. So everything was about Kingston, and I did what I had to do for Kingston. But it's a lot. Like, literally, you, like, lose yourself. Like, literally. Like, you don't see yourself losing yourself, but you literally lose yourself. And I didn't think, because I'm like this type, I've always been like this all my life. I got it. I can deal with it. I don't need no help. I don't want nobody helping me. So I've always been like that. So with Kingston, it was just like, oh, I got it. I can do it. And I did it. I did it. But at the end of the day, I didn't realize I was literally draining myself as, you know, too, because I wasn't taking time for myself. It was just like, really, you're dedicating everything to him. You're doing enough.
But you need saved you though? At any point?
Yeah, he literally did it. Like, literally, I say as this day, he was a blessing. Like, literally, if I could tell y'all from the beginning when I found out I was pregnant with him, literally, they told me my baby was dead.
Yeah, I remember that.
They told me my baby was dead, and then they didn't hear a heartbeat.
Right.
To, like, he's gonna, you know, your pregnancy gonna terminate off. And I'm like, no, like, and then it was just one doctor out of all them 5 doctors that came in the room, and he seen, like, the fighting, and he was like, no. He was like, he told all the other doctors to leave. Make a long story short, I was referred to a specialist, and when I went to the specialist, I told him what happened, and he was like, Ms. Walker, he did do you know, the ultrasound, he was like, I don't hear a heartbeat. He was like, I want you to come back in a week. I do just believe, you know, pray, everything. And I prayed. Even though it was unexpected, but I prayed and it was a miracle. Like, I went back and he was like, see, we got a heartbeat. Like, we got a heartbeat. So, you know, from that day on, like, he was meant to be here. I always say, like, he was my angel child. Like, he was counted out. He was counted out from day one. So,
and,
yeah.
And then they also didn't they also tell you that Kingston would be nonverbal?
I was just telling my mom that earlier today, this morning, because she was telling me about another kid that has autism. They told me the possibility, because Kingston has the last stage of autism, which is the worst, like, severe autism. So, like, he has the worst stage of autism. So they told me, like, he might never talk. He might never ride a bike. He might never be able to be potty trained. It's a lot of possibilities that they would not be able to do a lot of things. They said he might go deaf. And my baby literally, maybe this is like beginning of this year, maybe May, June, I kept saying he couldn't hear. I'm like, my baby can't hear. And I kept telling the doctor, like, he keeps getting earphones, he can't hear. True enough, my baby couldn't hear. But I caught it in time. They did surgery on his ears. Most autism kids lose their hearing. They go deaf. But Kingston, I don't know if that was the reason why he was nonverbal, because he couldn't hear himself.
Right.
So we communicated through sign language a lot. Like, Kingston was nonverbal for 3 years. He was,
and here's the lovely Kingston.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the nonverbal kid that counted out. Look at a walking blessing.
Right. So he was
Walking
not
and talking.
Yeah, right.
A lot.
So it was like 3 years, and then we communicated through sign language, and finally, like, I literally, before I even got the help with any services, even before I even knew any services, I worked my butt off around the clock. From night and day. I'm like, I don't care. People kept telling me, like, you're being hard on him. They was making me feel like I was a bad parent because I was putting too much on him. No, I'm not. We're gonna work for it, because they saying that he will. So I worked every day around the clock. I bought flashcards. I did everything. I did my own research. Like, literally, when he finally did get in-home services, the people looked at me and said, now, what are we here for? You did a lot. Like, you did all we want off of what you doing now. Like, because you did a lot. So, Kingston is where he at because of me, and I don't never give myself credit. As this day, I keep saying, like, you know, if it wasn't for my team, Kingston wouldn't be where he at. No, they always tell me, if it wasn't for you, Ms. Walker, he would not be where he's at today.
Was additional.
Yeah, it was a help. Yeah, it was a lot of help, but
so
yeah.
But okay, so with all of this and everything that you just told us about Kingston, and you know, from birth until now, how has it affected you personally, mentally?
Mentally, it's a lot. It's draining. Like I said, I try to ignore it because I'm always just like put up this brave thing. Like, you're brave. Like, you could do whatever you want to do. Like, you don't need help. But I take time to myself. Like, lately, I'm like, it's draining. It's a lot. Like, lately, I'm gonna be so honest. Like, I've been so moody. Like, because it's like I don't have the help with him, and I'm trying to do so much for myself. Like, I'm trying to better myself and, you know, pursue a lot of things with me. Within myself, but it's hard to do that when you have a child that you have to care for around the clock. So you don't have no help with him. Like, you don't have a person that could take your place. Like, I told my manager for the clinic I'm working for now, I was like, I don't have nobody to be like, okay, you could I have somebody to relieve you. Like, I don't have nobody to relieve you. This is around the clock all day, every day. Right. So this has been like this for 5 years. So it has put a lot of stress on my, like, a big toll on my mental health. Like, it plays a big part of my mental health. And I hate to say that because I don't know, I feel bad because it's like your child.
You shouldn't. When you feel bad and you start, you know, like, feeling guilty for what you're doing, that only affects your mental health. That only makes things worse. Only because you as a parent, this is your job. You know, and like you said, there's nobody else there to do it. So, you know, you're doing what you're supposed to do. And that's what you should be giving yourself credit for every day. You know, the steps that you are making as a single parent and dealing with a child with autism. Because I can imagine that couldn't, you know, be easy for you at all. So stop being so hard on yourself, and you have to give yourself credit for what you are doing, you know. And then the little things, as far as yourself, what works for me, it's self-care. you know, you have to take them days for you personally to just say, you know, no kids, no nothing, you know, no social media, no nothing, just Brittany. If that's just a bath, you know, in your own home, and you saying, Zay, don't let him come knocking, or nothing, you know, you have to do that for yourself because it actually helps.
Yeah.
You know, so, I personally, Brittany, I commend you because your job is not easy at all.
Being a parent itself is hard.
It is.
Living this life is hard.
You know, so I commend you. You know, having to deal with mental health issues alone is a job all by itself. And if you know, you know. Yeah. So to have this extra, you know, blessing. You know, just, you know, you just take it with a grain of salt, and for that, you know, you should be patting yourself on the back.
Yeah, I don't give them. Yeah, that's my main problem. I don't give my. Everybody say that, like, people I don't even know, like, he just started this new school, and these people know, like, they just feel my energy as a parent, like So it was like, all hands, we done got so many kids at this school with disabilities. We never even experienced a parent that came and already had their kids' stuff already, IEP already together. Like, you already knew, like, we don't never get that. So we know you're a good parent. Like, so it's a lot, because not even just that, it's like, even with just the IEP, with him being in school now, because I had told the people, like, I didn't want Kingston in school. I didn't want Kingston. I wanted his service to be in home for a long time, at least until he was like 5. And then I was just like, oh no, I feel like he needs to be out there now. Like, so luckily I did, because he'll still probably be receiving some type of in-home care.
When you seclude them like they're not like the rest of the kids, then that's when their disability, you know, they
get a little bit more worse.
When they get out to public society, they don't know how to
interact. But you allowed him to be a part of the world. You know what I'm saying? Of reality. And that's what he needed. And that's what
definitely.
you need.
That's why I was like,
you know,
I'm gonna do it, because like it was just like times maybe like about 2 years ago, maybe last year, like Kingston, literally, my mom I used to have to call her and be like, Sandy, I am going to T-Mobile to pay my bill. Meet me at T-Mobile at such and such address. Literally, she had to sit with Kingston, because Kingston is something it was something outside. I didn't know what was triggering him. Like, he literally would go all overboard, like, click, like, it just wow. And I didn't know what it was. I'm like, okay, maybe it's the lighting, maybe it's the people. And then when I was just like narrow it down, I'm like, no, it's something else. I don't know what it is. Maybe I would never figure it out. So I started to I'm like, I'm not gonna put him in situations like that. I'm gonna take him out of situations like that until I could figure out what it is triggering. Because the people tell me, like, yeah, that's the best thing to do, because like if you keep keeping him in that environment, it's making him worse. You're not making him better by like not figuring out what it is. Like, you have to sit down and you have to think like what it is. You might have to go back yourself. They told me, like, you might have to go without him and sit there and like, maybe it's this. Like, let's see if it's that.
You can't really find
that's what I was telling them. Like, it's kind of hard to like figure it out, because I really didn't know, and as of day, I still don't know.
But you got to think about it too. It's only you, him, and Zay. So you think about the environment since birth, and then he has this disability. But autistic children have a different way of looking at life through a different glass and a perspective. So they may feel energies that you may not even feel. They sense, you're not good today. Maybe not a bad person, but I don't feel your energy. I don't get around you. Because even when I used to come over as a baby, I used to sing to him and play songs, and he would just like look at me. He'd just mesmerize. Like, he'd be like, what the hell? And then he'll look at me and look at her and be like, wait, do they look alike? Are they twins? So I think he thought I was Brittany for a long time, so he would just really but you know, all the babies, like Jed, all the kids, I loved on them. So I'm like, maybe it's just my aura. But he never really pushed me away. But I noticed, like, when it's you, him, and Zay, and then y'all get out, and you're like, I'm not used to all these different type of people. All this different type of energy, noises, and all this stuff. So it's like, what the hell? But one thing I wanted to tell you, which I learned, and I had to learn it myself, God gave you that life because you're strong enough to deal with it. And Brittany, I swear, you are a walking miracle. And to be able to walk that life and be able to say, you know what? I'm going to take it and run with it. I'm not going to let me defeat me.
Not let it defeat you.
Even though you wanted to give up so many times. But you did not allow your burdens to cast you. You didn't allow them stones to just be like, you know what? I'm just gonna crawl up in my bed. I'm gonna be like, nope.
Because the thing is, you are his biggest advocate. So
Yeah.
if nobody fights for him,
Everybody say that.
you fight for him.
Yeah.
So you
And
have no
that's what I
choice.
told you.
You cannot give up.
Yeah.
You cannot, because if you drop the ball, then that's his life. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So you're consistently advocating for him, and that's your job. That's what you do as a parent. You don't have the option to drop the ball. You just figure it out, you know. And that's, I think us as parents is what causes us to go through mental things and deal with anxiety, because we don't subconsciously think about how it affects us. We just do.
We just do.
Because it's for the greater
Yeah.
of the situation. So we always put our feelings, how we feel, and our needs to the side for the greater good of our family, of our children,
Yeah.
of our loved
Exactly.
ones, you know.
Exactly.
So yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I agree. Yeah, definitely agree.
I mean, like, yeah, I don't know, Brittany. I
Yeah.
don't know if I could do it. I mean, you know, me helping out with Journey and Janiyah, that was literally like me starting all over again, you know, especially with Journey, you know, because she's smaller. But I feel like God prepared me for this moment because he knew it without me knowing it. You know what I'm saying? Because the person that I was versus the person that I am now, I am so much more patient. You know, some days is not so good, because the truth is about having mental health issues is some days may be awesome. And then there's that crash. And if you are someone that deals with mental health issues and you say, oh, I never get that crash, you are a lie. You are a lie. We all get that crash. And the only thing that I would like to say about that crash is allow it to happen.
Yeah.
Let it happen.
Growth.
You know, let it happen.
Yeah.
And once it passes, then you go on about your life. Because yesterday, the day before, I was in that space. You know?
The thing is too, allowing yourself to feel those feelings and emotions instead of suppressing them. Because you suppress them, and then you're covering up how you really feel,
How
and
you
it
really
shows
feel.
up as anger.
Yeah.
So you have to allow yourself, if you're happy, to be happy. If I'm sad, I'm sad.
I'm sad.
I have to say that I'm sad, and this is what I've learned, because you deal with how you're feeling in that moment, and you learn how to get
deal-
past
yeah,
it. That's why a lot of people nowadays, you know, that are adults and show up angry and all this is because they haven't dealt with the true issues.
Yeah.
And as time goes on, everything's just covered up. So it's layers of just trauma, but it shows up as anger.
Yeah.
So
anything triggers it.
yeah. So the real therapy is you acknowledging how you feel in that
aware
moment.
of it.
And the lesson that you learn from that is, as an adult, you learn to speak in that moment. I'm not feeling well. And the people around you should be okay. Open to that.
Yeah.
I'm sad.
Understand.
I'm happy.
That moment.
Allow me that moment. And don't judge me.
Yeah,
Don't
understand.
criticize me. Don't ridicule me.
Yeah, or-
Don't make me
yeah.
feel less
Don't make me
than.
feel guilty
Don't make me
for
feel
being
guilty
sad.
or make me
Yeah.
feel like I'm crazy. Like, oh, you're crazy.
Exactly.
Like,
Exactly.
So and that's also something, you know, being parents and dealing with mental health issues. When you have kids, you express that to them, you know, because I've told my kids, you know, today's not a good day. You know, it's not towards you. It's nothing personal towards nobody in this house. It's me. So just allow me this moment, you know, and then we'll get back to our, you know, regular program. But right now, I'm not in a good space.
So
You
much
know, I'm
about
not happy.
it teaches people how to deal with you and learn you
Yeah.
and know how to treat you and allow your boundaries to be your boundaries and not, like I said, make you feel like you're less than or like you are B-word for feeling this way. No. No, because
I'm
feelings
allowed
are not
this.
facts, right? But if I'm telling you I'm feeling a certain type of way,
I need you to hear me.
please don't internalize it and make this about you. It's not a you
Yeah.
story. It's not a me story.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out where I am at here.
Yeah.
If I'm not here, that means nobody gonna be good. I'm not gonna be good to nobody.
Yeah.
I'm not good to myself right now.
Yeah.
So how can I give you
Yeah.
more that's in my cup that I don't have for myself?
Right.
You have to learn how to put yourself first. And us as women or just people in general don't know how to do that. They don't know how to
Just
do
I
it.
got that.
Because where do you begin? Honestly, the work becomes within itself. It's like if you I tell people all the time, have you looked in the mirror and really addressed yourself? Not look in the mirror for physical aesthetics.
Right.
Have you tore yourself down layer by layer to break yourself down to figure out what it is that it is? I hate the word trigger because it's like a thing that people use as an excuse to say what they want to say and try to get away with manipulation, narcissistic behavior, all this shit. No, a trigger is not a trigger because if you dealt with whatever it was, that wouldn't even come back as a trigger.
Right.
You haven't dealt with whatever it was that's coming to you.
Right.
Because even if in a past relationship, business, family, it doesn't matter. If you keep running into the same damn thing and you are the common denominator, you have all these different outlooks and people and perspectives and opinions and all this bullshit, you be like, wait, am I the problem for real? Like, am I really the issue? Because I'm running into it with everybody. But everybody got their own internal issues. But in order to see if your grass is greener, make you feel better about yourself or whatever you're going through, you're going to try to knock me down when I'm down.
Right.
Instead of trying to pick me up and fix that crown. You're supposed to help elevate, increase, equip, enhance. And if you ain't doing none of that, if it costs my piece, it's too expensive. I don't want to deal with it. Just because I cut you off or that doesn't mean that I don't love you, but I love myself more too. You have to give yourself give yourself grace. You have to say, you know what? I walk up, my shit nappy, but I'm blessed. It could be worse.
It could.
I want it. It could be worse.
Definitely.
But when you touched on that trigger thing, I agree because when you say trigger is someone when they say they're triggered, that's them suppressing a situation or an emotion that they hadn't dealt with. So it's coming up and you don't want to deal with it, so it shows up as anger. I'm angry now because you brought up a feeling that I hadn't dealt with or gotten over or choose not to work through. You know, that's the thing, and that's why I say it's layers. When you go to therapy, it's layers.
Exactly.
You have to peel back because if you suppress one issue and as time your life moves forward and you keep consistently covering up things and you're not dealing with the emotion or the situation at hand, then yes, you will always be triggered. Because life is just triggered. I mean, there are a lot of different, it's a lot of different things. You have to learn how to deal with, your emotions. You have to control your emotions. You have to allow yourself to feel and be and get over it. And then that ends your triggers.
So we're gonna end this one because we have another topic that we want to hit on, and it's about relationships. But this was mainly us, speaking about being parents and dealing with our own mental health issues while trying to be, a good parent, But I want to thank you guys for sharing. Thank you, Brittany, for sharing your story, most definitely. But we will definitely be back with another podcast because we're going to hit our relationship next, and you guys do not want to miss that, okay? So, as usual, I thank you, and I love you. And if you're looking for me, you can reach me on timetoheal@gmail.com. No, timetoheal25@gmail.com, or I'm on Facebook, Lakeisha Jones, or my group mental health page is Time to Heal with Keisha. So again, I love you and I appreciate your support. Until next time, thank you guys. Bye.